the apocalypse. When I was a kid, I read the book Late Great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey, and I was convinced that the end of the world was coming, and I'm so bummed out when it didn't come. I'm still bummed out, so the next best thing is to come to this event, I guess. And I dressed as the scientist that released the virus that killed everyone. So you have me to thank for that. It looked so nice in the lab, and I just didn't think it would get out. So this is a short piece called Apocalypse. The people who notice first, the ones with especially sharp vision, or the ones looking through gun sights or binoculars, see only a faint dark static, a suggestion of graininess that wasn't there before. Should they say something? When they do, they're sent to the eye doctor. Next to see are the molecular biologists who peer through their high-powered microscopes and find the black specks they first assume are imperfections in their lenses. The specks are just large enough to blot out the nucleus of a cell. They're round, but not perfectly so. When the biologists clean their lenses or look behind the specks, they find even more specks. More unsettling is the fact that the cells continue to function as if the nuclei haven't vanished, at least for a while. It's as if the cells are operating on a kind of structural memory that degrades over time, turning the cells into zombies and then ghosts, and then, with enough black specks, into nothing at all. That's the conclusion of one scientist, nothing at all. She can think the words but not say them. It's the nothingness that hurts. She can grasp a malfunctioning world. She can't grasp nothing. And what's to be done? The scientist sees the specks in every slide she looks at. She sees them in her own skin. Like everyone else, she's slowly turning to nothing, and it gives her a new and unexpected connection to the world. We are all riddled with expanding holes. We are all falling in. In quiet moments, she thinks of the specks as little pieces of outer space sifted through the roof of the atmosphere, falling like dark rain. She thinks of them as little dots of erasure, little pinpricks in the world that will never heal. People feel the effects before they fully understand. The world appears dimmer, a little tired. They themselves feel sluggish, the reflexes slowed. They feel a growing sense of disconnection to their own bodies. Appointment slots fill at medical clinics, and the wait times go on forever. The CDC looks into it and can find nothing but a general set of symptoms with no known cause. Homeland Security orders testing for traces of chemical weapons in the atmosphere and water supply. Rumors fly. People quit eating meat. They quit eating fruit. They quit drinking certain brands of soda. They stay away from ducks, pigeons, mosquitoes, rats, and General Motors vehicles. They turn off their TVs, worried that their childhood fears of catching radiation are finally coming true. Nothing works. The molecular biologist's name is Beth. After she sees the black specks under the microscope, she experiences all the stages of grieving, from denial to acceptance. Only when she finally accepts them can she truly consider the phenomenon objectively in scientific terms, which for her means an appreciation of its terrifying beauty. It's as if the world has all along been an artist god's exercise in pointillism, and who'd have thought that God would take it all back? The universe is reversing course. The universe is changing its mind. The universe is sucking up little globules of energy and matter. We were always made mostly of space, every atom a lonely house in the vastness, so is it any surprise that the void would consume us in the end? The world looks now like it's being viewed through a window screen, like the reception is bad on an old TV. Beth stops blinking her eyes to correct her vision. She gets used to it. For a time, people go about their business at some level of normal, but pretty soon the specks expand into dots, and the dots gather into empty marbles, and the marbles into black globes. The food people loot from grocery stores tastes weak, a poor imitation, and does nothing to cure the general sense of weariness. Beth doesn't take part in the looting. She needs food less and less, and there comes a point where she knows that she doesn't have to eat anymore, that she'll disappear completely before she dies of starvation. The world's losing its coherence. Soon there'll be more emptiness than matter. Beth stops going to work. A lot of people do. The end is near. You can't walk anymore without passing through the holes, and even if you come out the other side, you feel the hole took part of you with it. There are people drifting around with no arms, no legs, partial torsos, partial heads. They're less than ghosts. They're more frightening. She feels herself fading. Even her thoughts have holes in them. The world's reduced to fragments, and the fragments don't seem to have ever composed anything, each its own dying world, falling inward and away from the others. They flit like moths around a porch light, and then like moths when the porch light's been turned off. Beth thinks of her earliest memory, outside at a picnic table, a sunny day, the candle on her birthday cake alive in a soft breeze like a ballerina spinning on point, lifting her arms, pulling them close while the wind pushes her side to side. Hurry, her mother says, blow out your candle before it's gone. She doesn't do it. The ballerina isn't done dancing. Family and friends are gathered, expectant. Come on, honey, we're all waiting. But she won't open her lips. She lets the ballerina leap and spin. The grace of the dance means more than cake or presents. At the moment, it means everything. She watches her ballerina struggle to hold position against a gust, toe on the wick, arms flung dramatically to one side, until at last she flickers and blues and snuffs like a magic trick into gray smoke. And when the smoke is swept away, there's nothing left but the ashy fading scent. Where did she go? Who took her away? She sees now that her ballerina left only the first hole in the world, the first of many. She too will flicker out like the candle's flame, leaving, she hopes, some girl a million years from now, to look through a telescope through the vast emptiness of the universe to see the light of Beth and all she knew go out, and to wonder, while her mother calls to her, come on, honey, we're all waiting, why she bothered to dance in the first place. It's the memory of the light, she'd tell her, the way it danced to the end. Thank you.